Welcome to the first of many videos to follow. This is your tutor Osman. In this series, we'll go through the entire A-level course of business studies. We are an organization, we are a non-profit organization that provides free education and tutoring for those that are financially disabled for all high school boards, almost all of them across the board. So make sure you sign up, or if you know anyone who might need help, make sure they can sign up. The link will be provided in the description below. In this video and the videos to follow, we'll focus on A-level business studies specifically. Now, before we actually start the course, I wanted to take a step back and focus on introduction. Focus on a few misconceptions and a few doubts almost every single prospect business student might have, or anyone who has started studying business. They will probably come across these misconceptions and these questions. So I wanted to take a step back and try to focus on them before we actually move on to the course. The first problem, the first misconceptions prospect business study students for A-levels who are graduating from IGCSE or new A-level business study students will have is that they assume that business studies do not have any practical benefit in real life. Now their argument makes sense if you think about the reasoning. They would probably argue that because all businesses are unique, it is better to work and get some experience. And if you can get some experience, you are much better off than actually studying a book for 2 years, which may be too generic. Let me put it this way. Think about your own locality and think about you opening a business in your own locality. Of course, the factors that you might face in your locality are very different from some other locality around the world. So it would make much more sense for you to study, to focus on your own locality and try to get some experience running a business or working for a business, and therefore increase your knowledge in business studies rather than studying for 2 years a book which perhaps might be too generic and not focused on your specific locality. Now, this is a valid argument. However, this is not a sound argument, and my reasoning for that is pretty straightforward. You guys to focus on some of the most successful businesses around the world. Of course, these are few famous logos and businesses you are probably aware of, but you could probably think about many other businesses which are global and extremely successful. I want you guys to think about it. What is it about them that makes them the level they are? Why are these businesses so good? The first reason you will probably notice is that they are good at what they do. What do I mean by that? It's a pretty cliche statement, but what do I mean that they are good at what they do? When you think about them, when you think about it from a business perspective, they are effective and they are efficient, right? All of the most successful businesses around the world, almost all of them are very extremely effective in what they're doing, and they are extremely efficient in what they're doing. Well, what does that mean? That means that first of all, they have good management. Because they have good management, they can organize their labor force. Because they have an organized labor force, they can focus and they can achieve aims. They can focus and they can achieve their aims. What I'm trying to say is that also one more thing I almost forgot. They are financially stable. In all of these businesses, you will notice that they are financially stable, they have good management, they have an organized and a focused labor force which allows them to achieve what they are trying to do. All of these things we study in business studies. We study if you take business course. We study how can you make an organization financially stable. How can you have good management? You can learn different techniques about good management. You learn how to improve your labor force, how to make them more motivated and focused. All of these things we will study in business course. So that's one benefit of taking business. Do not think about mediocre local business. I want you guys to focus on the successful businesses. Studying business studies enables us to get to that level, to allow us, is one of the main factors that helps us to get there. the knowledge that we need to get there. The second thing you will notice about all of these business, all of the successful businesses, is that they are long term. None of the businesses which are successful globally happened overnight. Almost all of them took decades to be the place they are in right now. The question is, how do you make your workforce resilient? How do you get that endurance? How do you get that endurance? I'm pretty sure my spelling is incorrect, so forgive me for that. How do you get that endurance? How do you get the resilience in the workforce, in the management, to somehow be able to stick together for 5 years, 10 years, and make something happen? Most businesses fail in the first few years of their opening. Most businesses do not, statistically speaking, do not survive for more than 5 years. But how can a business survive for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? For all of these things, what is important is decision making. What is important is management. All of these things we study in our business course. So the business course, if you take it in A levels or in IGCSE or in your life generally, you will learn how to create a successful business. Okay, some students might argue, well, okay, that's fine, I understand that. Okay, businesses, by studying business studies, we can be more practical. We can get a business going, and we can have a successful business if we try to focus. It enables us to do that. Well, that's fine and good. The second problem students have is that they will say, hey, I'm just a student. Why do you have to think about Apple? Why do you have to think about all of these successful businesses? I just need to focus on my studies. Why should I take business studies when I could take any other subject? What's the benefit for me? How will it benefit me in real life? How will it benefit me in my everyday routine? I want you guys to think about businesses as a single unit. Think about an organization as a single unit. You will notice one thing common. All businesses try collectively, as an organization, to achieve a specific goal. That goal could be producing food as a restaurant. That goal could be manufacturing cell phones. That goal could be transportation. Any organization, all that they're trying to do is they're trying to achieve their goal in the most effective and efficient way possible. Think about yourself. Students and schools, what do they try to do? They try to enable students to get good grades in a most effective and efficient manner. What I'm trying to say is that schools and studies in a way is just like a business. And you will notice that as you study the business course, you will notice how we can apply different business theories in everyday life to make my routine and to make your routine more efficient and more effective. And every single student who is a high achiever, if you know anyone who is a high achiever among your classmates, you will notice that almost all of them will apply some of the business theories either knowingly or in many cases unknowingly. So by studying business studies, we can actually apply the theories which we are studying in the book into our real life, into our everyday life, especially in the second module, especially in the third module that can help us make our own routine effective and efficient. So not only is business studies helpful for you as an individual to enable you to run a successful business, it also enables you to improve your everyday life as a student who is studying. The third and the final misconception students have is that they would argue, okay, fine, I understand that studying business studies helps you make a successful business. It enables you to do that. One of the factors, that's pretty fine and good. Okay, business studies, business theories can help me improve in everyday routine. That's also fine and good. But the problem is I'm not taking business studies to be a good businessman. The only reason I'm doing it is so that I can get into a university, so that I can get a good grade. My whole purpose is to get a good grade. That's what I'm trying to, that's what I'm trying to do in the first place. I'm just a student, and that's where I come in. That's my job. So my job is to help you guys summarize the entire book. You have more than 600 pages in the entire book. Almost all business books have more than 500, 600 pages, and that could be extremely burdensome for most students. So I'll try in this series to summarize the entire book as much as possible, giving you guys all the details you need for your exams. I'll also help you guys answer essay questions which are critical for your examinations. And hopefully by the end of this series, You guys should be able to have a podcast instead of carrying a book around, where you will have every single topic explained with examples of from your past papers or from your books that can help you answer all the questions in the examinations. Also, I'll be clearing off some confusing topic, and I'll try to keep it interesting so that we all carry on